Patterns of our trousers. Okay, this is the front pattern and this is the back pattern, right? Then this is the material we are using for our practice, just to practice what we have to, for you to see how easy it is. To see how easy it is, this is all we need. We have done all the major works on the pattern, so now it's now for us to interpret it to our fabric. So all we need is our pattern paper, front and back patterns, with our materials, our scissors, and then a thread. Okay, but when you're making yours, you should know that you should use the matching thread, as in exactly the color of the fabric. It makes it look more matured and more professional. Okay, but here I'll be using a thread that contrasts with the material I'm using, so that we could see the seam lines. Okay, so let's go right to it. If you are a first timer here, you're highly welcome. If you are a subscriber, you're welcome back. But if you are new to this channel, do well to subscribe. There's a whole lot of goodies for you, and please do not forget, this is a 1-year program. At the end of this 1 year, certificates will be issued to the best qualifying students. Then, and our sponsors have promised some grants. Okay, so stay tuned to this channel. Make YouTube your friends. Check other channels. You have beautiful channels that you can follow. Make sure to touch up yourself, touch up your skills, and 2024 won't be a wasted year again for you. For all that are beginners, for all of us that are beginners, even for us that are not beginners, we still have a lot to learn. Even if you have to chip in your corrections in the comment section, it's welcome. Okay, so let's go right into it. This is our pattern of that we have already drafted earlier. Okay, so now we are interpreting it to our fabric. Now, invest in ironing. Very, very key. Okay, the first thing you do is to fold your material. Remember, trousers are not to be kept on fold, right? Trousers are not to be put on fold, and then you iron, place your pattern. Okay, but I don't want to waste my material. You see, what pattern drafting does for you is it helps you manage your materials. You can see what is happening here. Okay, you can see what is happening here. It helps you manage your material. There will be no waste of material. Okay, then you cut out. Okay, we have cut out our front pattern. This is our front pattern. Okay, with pattern drafting, there is no waste of material. We set that aside. We fold our material again. We'll be cutting out the back pattern. Place it on the folded area and cut out. Remember, we don't need to add allowance because we already added excess allowance on the trouser when we were cutting it out. Okay, so we are done cutting this is our back pattern and this is our front pattern. Now, for you not to make mistake, you just have to label it. My chalk is a yellow chalk, so I won't be using my chalk. Let me just use biro since this is just a rough. You have to label it so that you will not make mistake. Label the back, please, with your chalk so that you will not make mistake. Now we remove our patterns. The beauty of this pattern is make sure to keep your patterns. You can always refer back to it. You can always get some people that are exactly the same, or the person that owns the pattern might come back for another sewing, so you don't need to start drafting his or her measurements again. Okay, so this is our back pattern, front pattern, and this is our back pattern. Now what do we do next? We take it to the sewing machine and we sew the flap area. Okay, we sew this flap area. We have joined the flap area. Okay, with at least 1/2 inch. You can see it. Notch. Anything you sew that has a curve, you notch it. But when you are notching, be careful not to cut through your seam line. Okay, if not, that area will gather. Okay, to cut the band, to work on the band. Now, to work on this band, you will measure each of them. You will measure the back and cut the band, you will measure the front and cut the band. Remember to iron your seam. Iron it so that it will be flat. You can see how flat it is now. Now you measure the front, which is 13. You measure for the back, which is 14. Okay. When cutting the band, if you want your band to be 2 inches, and when you measured your client's full length of trouser was 39, like this trouser was 39 now, and my band is 2 inches. Before cutting out the draft, make sure that you deduct 2 inches from that 39. Because why? If you don't deduct it and you make that bodies of that drafting 39, by the time you are adding it to it, it will be longer than the client. So remove the 2 inches from this place. I already removed it. Okay, so now my band is 2 inches. Okay, so this is the band for both the front and the back. Okay, now we'll work on the back pattern first. Okay, this is the back pattern and this is the band. What you do first of all is how to join. Now what you do is, the way it's facing this back bodies, you turn it this way. Okay, when you turn it this way, you join this place to this place. Now this other edge, you are going to stitch it down like this. Okay, let me do that and come back. Okay, so this is our back pattern. Okay, and this is the back that will carry the elastic, because this palazzo trouser we are making will carry elastic. Okay, so now we have joined the band. Okay, look at what we did. We have joined one side of the band to the right side of the band to the right side of the back pattern. Now you see this one that we stitched down, the edge that we stitched down, then is what we are now going to use to cover this seam line. Okay, you see it. We are not going to sew on this side. We are going to turn it this way and sew inside this joining. You will so hide it that it will not be obvious, but I will make mine obvious so that we can see how it is. And in so doing, you will sew this side down and you have hidden that seam. Okay, now invest in ironing. Okay, you see it. This is a rough, just to show us how to sew it. We are still going to talk about the finishing. Okay, stay tuned on this channel. This is it. So now we have stitched it down. Okay, so on this side you are going to see 2 lines, but here you are seeing only 1, and it's hidden. If I had used the matching color of this material, you won't see it at all because it's hidden inside this band. Okay, so now it's time for us to insert our elastic. So we have inserted our elastic with the aid of safety pin. You use safety pin, it's very easy. Use safety pin to pass the elastic, and then when you pass the elastic, you now stitch this side down, stitch this side down, just to make the elastic stay. Now this elastic I used, I don't want to be sewing at the center because it's this small elastic, just for tutorial. But when sewing your trouser, please invest in 1 inch or more than 1 inch elastic, because this tiny elastic is not good for trouser. Okay, you can use it for sleeve, but you can't use it for your trouser. Now if you want to make your trouser more beautiful, you can just still sew like so, sew on the elastic, but I don't want to do all that because of our time. So now we are done with the back pattern. This is the front. We are going to go and join, just like we did for the back, we join this area to the pattern itself. We join this side of the band to the pattern itself, then we stitch this side down, and we'll be back. So we have stitched the band to the front pattern. Now there's something I want to talk about quickly, which we are still going to elaborate on later, is the ironing of stay to the band. Now never you sew your trouser like this without adding stay to the. I'm just doing this because this is just a tutorial for us to see how to use our pattern that we drafted. But if I were to be the one sewing this trouser, I must lay soft stay on this place, on this, just to give our band a little bit of weight. If you feel you're ready to wear trousers, you will feel that it's thicker than the body itself. That's because something is laid inside. So now we have joined our band to the front pattern, so it's time for us to close it this way, just like we did for the back pattern. Okay, but we'll not do that right away. Look at what we are going to do now. We want to join the front and back pattern together. Now this is the back pattern. This is the front body is facing up. This is the back pattern facing down on it. Now what we are going to do, we want to hide, make this edge look professional. Okay, we don't want stitches showing on the band area. So what you are, okay, make sure to lay it very well. You adjust it to this side, turn this band and stitch on it like you are going to sew down, but don't sew down. You adjust this area too. Okay, you adjust this area, you turn it and stitch on it as if you are going to sew down, but don't sew. Then I'll come back to show us how it works. So I have done that. Okay, you can see. But so after doing that, now it's time for you to turn the front band the normal way it's supposed to be. Can you see? Can you see the neatness of the band? Can you see the neatness of the band? So instead of the band showing stitches that you joined this band this way, it's not, you sewed it from inside. You have hidden these stitches. Okay, you have hidden these stitches. So it's now time to take it to your sewing machine and hide the front seam like you did for the back. Okay, let's go. So as you can see, our trouser is forming. Our trouser is forming. So we can see the neatness of the front. Okay, you can see the neatness of the front. You can see the neatness of the side, the way the side is hidden. Side stitches are hidden. You can see this is the way our ready-made is being made. You can see how the stitch is. Okay, so now the only thing remaining is to join all the two sides. Okay, the only thing remaining is to join this place, join this place, join this place, and then join this place. But remember, always join your hem. Always bend your hem first. Okay, let's go to this. Okay, our trouser is ready. Remember, this finishing is rough. That's because this is just a practical for our pattern paper. The next video will be talking about our finishing. The next video that will be coming up by tomorrow will be talking about our finishing. Okay, we already talked about that though, but we're talking about it again. So this is our trouser. You can see the finishing. You can see how it is. You can see. Now it's time to iron. Watch the next video to see how to insert your pocket to this beautiful trouser. Okay, how we are going to insert pocket to this beautiful trouser. All the stylish pockets we can attach to it in the next video. Thank you for watching.